In the last 6 matches, perfection from the Light Blues. They've obviously they've won 6, they haven't lost or drawn. They've scored 18 goals, they've only conceded 7. They've kept 3 clean sheets along the way as well, and they advanced to the Carabao Cup semi-final for the first time since the 2020-2021 season, which was also the last time they won the competition. Here is Pep Guardiola after the match.
Pep, a few talking points tonight. First of all, when Manchester City reach a semi-final of any competition, you lock in and you go for it, don't you?
Well, first of all, is I just say thank you to the incredible fans that in a difficult day, you know, the windy 90 minutes, 95 minutes, raining, and for the windy, they were wet like we were. So thank you for coming, you know, to be with us in a uncomfortable day in this competition. And a part of that, yeah, happy to, you know, to be semi-final. For many players, they didn't play much the last games, and they played really good against, you know, Brentford is always tough, especially in the first minutes. But yeah, really happy for the game and yeah, to be semi-final.
How happy are you for Rayan? I mean, he lit the place up. His goal was a thing of beauty, perfection. I was watching you in the technical area as well, and you seemed very pleased about it.
Oh, of course, what a goal! Oh, what a goal! And after that, he didn't play much well after the goal, but before and with the goal, it was fantastic.
Why was it so special, just from a coach's point of view?
The goal? Mm-hmm. Even a blind guy, a blind woman can realize it was a special goal. It's not necessary to be a manager to know how beautiful it was.
But it was just your reaction, and
yeah, well, it always have been. When you have a score, Phil Foden scored a few of them. And every time when someone is scoring goals from the, you know, outside, they go to the corner. So just to say, yeah, we are lucky to have this type of players to score this type of goals.
The competition, you've always given youngsters an opportunity as well. Talk to me about Charlie Gray, giving him his debut.
Yeah, I arrived here with 5 years old. So making his debut for Man City. So yeah, really good. He's a brain player. He's so clever. He's intelligent. He's a proper holding midfielder. Yeah, and for the last minutes to give you, because when had to have an important game, and Nico Riley, Nico Gonzalez, and Phil, and most of the players play a lot of minutes and recently, and I didn't want to play. You know, we had to be fresh for Saturday. That is massively important for us.
And Keith Andrews and you saw you talking at the end of the game. Yeah. Keith saying that, you know, you're going to try and grab a coffee or some food or whatever while they're up here. Do you enjoy sort of meeting the younger coaches and passing on, you know, your experience to them and getting to know about them?
If I beat them, yeah. Otherwise, no. No, of course. The second time we met each other, so they stay here. They don't come back home because they play away in Wolves. And tomorrow they're training here, and I said, of course, they want to come and take a... We have an incredible baristas in our training center. They make the best cafes in the city. So if they want to come, him or Henderson, for example, that they know Pep Linders perfectly, I'm more than welcome.
Why not? Well, thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you, Pep.
What did you think of that, Nige?
Oh, fantastic. Just honest, authentic, showing his personality, and I loved it. It was very, very open. And you talk about standards, right? You talk about Rayan Cherki's goal. Most managers would be happy with a player that scores, but Pep says, brilliant goal, beautiful goal to see. All can see that goal was beautiful, but then he didn't do too much after.
That was a compliment.
That was a compliment. But for me, I just think it just shows the standards and the high demands he has. Yes, you scored a goal, but what more can you do? Can you do more? Can you continue to improve? Can you get better? And it just shows, just the fact he was just so open and honest about that, and everything is great. And obviously he wants to beat the young managers and then have coffee with them after.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Said, I'll only be a friend if I beat you. What about Charlie Gray, though? That was a nice, touching story, wasn't it? 5 years old when he joined the academy, to give him a last couple of minutes to give him a run out. It does inspire, doesn't it, the next generation for the academy and seeing that clear pathway through.
That's one thing that I do give Pep Guardiola a lot of credit for. Pep Guardiola, and I'll probably say Arsene Wenger and Sir Alex Ferguson have been some of the managers that have been really great at that. When you talk about bringing out academy players through and young players through and willing to give them opportunity and develop them, even the senior players that they have, that's something that all those managers have a great history of. They're not scared to give young players an opportunity, the ones with the right mindset, the right technical ability, and ones that fit into what they've already built with the senior players. So it's nothing that's surprising with Pep Guardiola. When you look at the number of youngsters that have played under him and been given the opportunity, he does show to the players and the younger players in the academy that there is a pathway. Yes, we've got one of the managers, or the greatest manager that's going to go down in history managing our club. As much as they do get some superstars, there's still an opportunity for you as a youngster in the academy if you're good enough and if you do the right things. And it's great that he does that.
And now they're on the heels of Arsenal in the Premier League. Just a reminder of all the scores from today. Arsenal play Crystal Palace next week. The draw's going to happen tonight as well, by the way, and that will obviously be seeded based on the winner of that game. Chelsea won yesterday against Cardiff City, and Newcastle United beat Fulham 2-1. Here is Eddie Howe after the match.
Way to win a game, and given some challenging circumstances, you must be very proud.
Yeah, really pleased with the players. That was a tough game. It was always going to be today. We're back on home soil. I thought we controlled the game. Fulham are a good team. They had their moments, but I thought we deserved to win.
And Lewis Miley getting the winner, playing in a position not necessarily unfamiliar to him, but not his first choice position. That was a great effort, wasn't it?
Yeah, brilliant performance from a really talented young player. I think he hasn't played right back a lot. And he had to take on a lot of information this morning, but he did really, really well and capped off with the goal, really. It was a great finish from him.
Yeah, do you feel he's really growing into this squad now?
Yeah, I think he's here on merit. I mean, that's an obvious statement, but I think he believes he's more than good enough to play at this level and not just play, but excel. And I think we're seeing that now. I think he's taking his game to another level, and nights like tonight will only help him.
And for Johan Wissa to get off the mark, that can only be a good thing as well.
Really positive night in lots of different ways. I mean, Johan getting his goal is a brilliant moment for him, especially so early in the game, and he took it superbly. He'll only get better for the match minutes. Young Alex Murphy coming on the pitch and doing really well. I'm delighted for him. So yeah, delighted for all the players.
Do you feel perhaps in the second half, when it might have looked as if it was meandering towards a draw, that the substitutions you were able to make and get on the front foot made the difference?
Yeah, I think Sandro's drive from midfield was key, and seeing the two Anthonys come on made a difference for us as well. We've got quality players. I just felt we controlled the game really well because they're a dangerous transition team. I thought we dealt with that situation superbly.
You're challenging on so many fronts in different competitions, but to get to the semi-finals of this once more, given what it means to the club as well, that's important, isn't it?
Well, I think it was important to bounce back from Sunday. I think it was important that we came back in a positive fashion. And of course, we want to be competitive. We want to win trophies, and this is one that we had such a great experience with last year. We're keen to do it again, but we know with the teams left in, it's not going to be easy.
When you talk about being competitive, do you feel you got that from your players tonight, even though you weren't full strength?
Oh yeah, I could see the will to win and drive to win was there. We gave everything, even in moments that were difficult for us. It's all part of the game, and the challenge is to grow and improve, and I think there was positive signs that we're on the road to doing it.
If there was one negative, it was another injury to a defender. I know it's early, but any news on Tino Livramento?
No, but it doesn't look good. The fact that he came off is a worrying sign, so we're so stretched in that area. That would be a huge blow.
Appreciate your time, Eddie.
Thank you.
Come on. Cheers.
Oh, well, Eddie Howe, he's been criticised, actually, hasn't he, for kind of not complaining, but for saying it's difficult to be on the training ground and to implement some of his styles when they're playing in so many competitions and they have one of the most expensive squads in England. Does he really have a case to make, Nigel, from that front?
It is. It's true. It's very difficult. Difficult to implement your formation styles because players need to recover and rest from games. You know, playing in my career, there's been periods of times where literally you just play a game, you recover, and then you play again, and 2-3 days down the line. And all the managers can do is basically give you information through various video review or, you know, the technical side of stuff, but not enough time as they'd like to spend on the training pitch. So that does play a part. But you could see Eddie Howe is happy. He understands what this competition is. He knows the teams that are left in it.
He didn't see it.
He's happier than the weekend.
Yeah.
You definitely will take that. You can say he's happy in the weekend, but he knows. I mean, it's the pressures of being a manager in a modern game. There's a lot to deal with, and then you talk about that. I'm sure he's probably worried about Livramento now being injured. That's another injury, while losing Dan Burn on the weekend. So you start to worry about now losing so many players. And he talks about Lewis Miley today, academy graduate who got the match winner, played right back today. And imagine that as a young player coming through, you're playing a few games, and then your manager's asking you to play in the right back position, which he's not too used to and normally plays in the midfield, but he still does it so well. So there's a lot he's taken on, and I'm sure it's probably more so that injuries now are starting to pile up. Again, which goes to the question you asked me, Pop, you are playing in so many different competitions. Now you're in the semi-final of the Carabao Cup. You've got to correct your Premier League form. You've also still got the Champions League, and the FA Cup's about to start soon. So it's a lot to worry. It's a lot of burden that he's got on his head.
Who have you got as the favourite of the remaining 3 teams that we know so far? Obviously, we've still got Arsenal, Crystal Palace.
Arsenal, for me, look like the team that's the most invincible, and I'll use that quote. Manchester City, for me, are the team that I feel would want the desire more so to get this trophy. But if I had to pick someone, I would still say, just because of everything I've seen so far, Arsenal right now on top form to win it.